How are you doing today?
All right, mate. You?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. So, first question I wanted to ask you is what made you start boxing?
I watched Rocky Four, um, and I watched it with my mum and stepdad, and I just said, kind of, I'm gonna do that, and then they started laughing at me, and here I am, today.
Okay. So you've had 25 professional fights. Now, when you told me through your amateur career, so what was your amateur career like?
Um, I had 71 amateur fights, and I won 60. Won three three national titles, three nations, gold medal. Uh, Boxed for England numerous times and won a silver at the Commonwealth Youth Games.
Okay. So one of your biggest achievements throughout your career was fighting co-main event at Wembley against Eko Isuman in front of 94,000 people. Now, I was one of those 94,000 people, and that atmosphere was amazing. What was that like, and how did you block out the noise fighting in front of that many people?
Um, I don't really think I blocked it out. I think it was, if you ask any fighter, if they got that opportunity, they'd love it. So it was kind of not about blocking it out, but kind of enjoying every moment and just making sure you don't freeze and kind of panic. With that many people about, but I absolutely, loved it. And I think no matter where my boxing career goes or what titles I win in the future, I don't think it'll ever top, it'll ever top that.
What would you say your plans for 2023 are going to be? Because you just come off a loss from Dom Hunt. So, how do you see your plans for 2023 being?
Hopefully better than 22. Result wise, last year wasn't a cracking year for me, and as we speak, obviously we're not on the video, so as we speak now, I've got a splint on my hand. So I'm just awaiting a scan and kind of getting my hand right. But hopefully, I'll be out April time. I'm hoping, and just rebuild. Hopefully I've a big fight or two in the year, but ultimately getting back to doing what kind of one got me to 20-0. Boxing and kind of fighting when I need to. But the last fight, for example, I think I let myself down by just turning it into a war straight away, and I didn't really need to do that. So just going back to the basics and being a boxing, I'm not a one punch knockout merchant. So to kind of my last fight, I kind of boxed like I was, if that makes sense, and I just need to go back to what I'm good at.
Okay. So, you say that you've got a fight potentially in April. Do you have an opponent, or you're not sure yet?
We've had a name if we're interested. But obviously until I know my hand's going to be all right. Then we can't really make moves on the deal and stuff. So we have an idea. It's just a case of seeing how my hand is, and hopefully my hand will be all right, and we can get that across the line.
Okay. What happened to your hand?
I done it in the Hunt fight, and it's not been right since. So I remember in the second round, I threw a hook, and I think I landed on the top of his head, and I felt something go straight away, and kind of ignored it. Had some time off after the fight, and it didn't feel too bad. So I went to the gym and tried punching with it, and throwing a jab. It didn't feel too bad. As soon as I threw a hook, it kind of bloomed up straight away, and left it swelling went down. Threw a jab, it felt fine again. Threw a hook, swelling came back. So I've had it looked at, and they think there's a capsule under the tendons or ligaments or something, and they think I might have bust that. So I've just got to get an ultrasound, which hopefully I'll have it this week coming, and then I can get more answers, and hopefully it's a case of rest it for another few weeks, and then I can get straight back to it.
what would you say your toughest fight has been throughout your whole career?
Prob- I think obviously the toughest is in when I was in there. What kind of felt bloody hell? This is hard. Probably the Dom Hunt fight. I think if you've been on my Instagram, you'll have seen the picture of my face, and no other fight has compared to the damage that I took in that. Whether that was self inflicted or not, that fight along with a hand injury during the fight, and where my head was at that time, that fight was definitely, was probably the most physically tough fight that I've had.
What would you say your dream opponent out of everyone in your division? Who would you say your dream opponent would be?
What at world level, any level whatsoever?
Yeah.
Uh, the one where I get the most money, probably Terence Crawford. No, probably. Yeah, so obviously Canelo's not at my weight now. You'd probably say Terence Crawford because for example, I've sparred Avanesian, and I know how hard them spars are, and I know how good he is. And then to watch what Crawford did to him, you kind of think, you wouldn't mind getting in there to see how good he really is. When you're in there with him.
Okay. How do you think that would go if you fought Terence Crawford?
I think he'd punch me head in and knock me out whenever he wanted.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'd make it competitive because the chance of that happening would be very slim. But if I ever got that fight for whatever reason, I'd probably just go out the first round and swing like a madman until I got caught and chinned.
Okay, so what would you say your end goal is as boxing as a whole? So 10 years from now, you look back on your career, what do you want to achieve?
Do you know what? Believe it or not, Aidan, I've already achieved more than I ever thought, and I genuinely did. When I first went into a boxing gym, that was to keep me out of trouble, and then all I ever wanted to do was box for England, and get an England vest, and I got that. But I think, sorry, that's just my little lad coughing.
Oh, sorry.
I think before I hang them up, I'd love to win an English title. That's the only belt that my trainer hasn't had as a trainer. He's had every other belt: British, European, Commonwealth, Central Area, World. So I'd love to get the English and kind of complete the collection for him.
Okay, so that's all the questions I have for you. So thank you so much for taking this interview. I really do appreciate that.
No, anytime.
If you want to follow Darren on Instagram, what's your Instagram?
Darren Tetley. I think it's just under Darren TNT Tetley. Follow me on there, and I think it's the same for Twitter as well. Daz TNT Tetley.
Okay, so everybody go follow Darren. Just say thank you for taking this interview. And yeah, good luck with the rest of your career, and we'll do it again sometime down the road.
No problem, mate. Thank you for having me.